podcast.
We are back.
We
Another
are.
day, another dollar.
We definitely are.
Welcome to What's the Word? If you don't know me, my name's Eamon, and this is my co-host.
Warner.
There we go. This is the Sunday sessions. We do this every single week, as many of you will know. Just want to welcome everybody. Say hello in the chat. Say hello in the comments. Let us know who's watching, where you're watching from in the world, because we've got international audience now, so we're global. So let us know what's going on. I'm tired for some reason because I'm running up and down the stairs trying to get the Wi-Fi to work, but we're here, and I'm excited for this one because it's a family special.
Oh,
it's
right.
A Shibemba,
Okay.
it's a Shibemba special. So for the next 45 minutes, I'm an honorary Shibemba, so I'm excited. I'm excited for that.
All right. Wow.
So yeah, Warner, as always, tell the people, how was your week?
How's my week? My week has been a good week. It's been relatively calm. So that's always a benefit, isn't it?
It's great, yeah.
So yeah, I can't complain, to be honest. Me and Mercy went out on yesterday. We went out to this place, first time ever in Manchester, called Dimitri's. Such nice food, yeah. It's like
what kind of food?
It's Greek, and it's because like that's basically our favorite food, pretty much. It's obviously it's and it's like they've even got like this tapas vibe thing where like you get loads of different pieces and stuff. So we went there and we're just like, this is amazing. So if you like Greek food, go to Dimitri's in Manchester. They've got nice cocktails as well. I had a mocktail, which was actually better than Mercy's cocktail, so I was happy. Do you know what I mean? So yeah,
that's a glowing review of Dimitri's. That is.
Yeah, it was great. It was really good.
We should do a segment sometimes, like Warner's food reviews. So I'm thinking, I'm like, yeah, you picked that place up. We should get sponsored by them.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we should do a remote. What's the word? At Dimitri's.
Ooh. Yeah, if you want to see that, put it in the comments. Let us know where you want us to eat. Ready arms. Yeah. Amen. Anyway, my week. Do you know what? Yeah, my week's been pretty standard, but I've had some Rona symptoms, so that sucked. And it's got gradually better over the week, to be fair. And I had a test yesterday. I think I'm going to be pretty sound. But, better safe than sorry, innit? Weird times. Yeah. But still 10 out of 10 week, chilled out, played some Call of Duty, just regular week for me,
Happy you might be able to go pro soon, to be honest.
Well, Mike's a bit better than me. But yeah, like on Friday with the youth, we did a Disney quiz and I won, surprisingly.
I think that's probably because I wasn't there, innit?
I had no idea. I had no idea what I was doing. I was just random guessing.
That should not be happening.
That really boosted my self-esteem this week. That took my week from like a 9 to a 10. Winning a Disney quiz at youth.
Forever. Hey, also Ransomed happened on on Saturday. That was really good. I don't know if Mike and Lauren are watching this, but they did a great job, and the tech team did a great job. And from what I've heard, all the youth enjoyed it. It was great. Obviously, it was all online, where normally it's in nice chalets in Wales somewhere. But it was amazing.
Yeah,
Jesus spoke. So yeah, it's been a top week, man. Yeah, so Eamon, do you want to? Oh, go on.
No.
I was going to say, do you want to take us through our cool cue of the week?
The cool cue of the week. I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh yeah. Okay, I remember it now.
Amy won't be happy.
I just have
this was a viewer submission. So guys, also let us, if you have a cool cue of the week that you'd like us to do, feel free to let us know. You can if you know us, get in contact with us directly.
Yeah, please do.
Or drop us a message on this page, or comment on the YouTube, whatever. You can even send us an email if you're that way inclined. We don't judge. Do you know what I mean? So, what's the question this week?
So the question this week from Amy Knight is: if you could swap places with somebody for a day, who would you choose and why? So you would live the life of somebody else for a day, and you have to be a real person. So no fictional characters or anything like that. So Warner, kick us off.
Wait. We need to set some parameters. Is this present day?
I mean, they can be dead or alive, to be honest.
Okay,
but they have to be real.
Okay, that's all right. That's slightly different. Okay, dead or alive? Right. I think that's quite hard. One person, and there's no benefit, is there? Like you don't get a bet. You don't like retain the information when you come back. You live their life for a day and then that's done.
Yeah, just for 24 hours, you're in their body. You're doing exactly what they would normally do in their whatever profession they're doing. You've got insight into their mind, everything like that. That's it for 24 hours, and then you're back. It's a difficult one.
Yeah, it's really hard actually.
If you have got
my gut instinct. Oh my god!
Wow,
just got the most ridiculous.
That is
comment.
A great answer. Get that on the screen.
Look at this! Look at this, people!
Wow,
that's how confident my wife is, and she is pretty great, to be honest.
That's a great answer. That,
but I just wasn't expecting that to be the answer. So my gut instinct is saying John Mayer, when he was doing his Where the Light Is gig, like that whole 24-hour day, I'd want to do that because that must have been epic. Do you know what I mean? And he got to play all of his favorite songs at the time, play with his favorite musicians, like mates in his band. I feel like that's what I'd do. I can't think of anything else like
that's a good answer,
philanthropic or whatever, but that's what I'd do. What would you do?
I respect that. I'm kind of torn between two. First one being Kanye West, obviously, legend. And second one being George Lucas, because I mean, I want to know like George, because I'm a big Star Wars guy. I like Star Wars. I like to know. I like to be in his head so I can see what his vision. Number one, what he thinks of the Disney ones, but then what his vision would be for if he did the Disney ones, what they would look like. I think that would just be really interesting.
All right, so you'd want to be him today. You wouldn't want to be him like when he was when Star Wars first came out.
No, right in this present moment right now to just sort of see what he's thinking about, like the whole Star Wars stuff. So I would like to just see like how critical is he? Like, did he have a completely different vision? That's just me. I want to know.
Well, there we go. So guys, let us know in the comments. Maybe there'll be other married couples who want to see what it's like to be married to them. I've got no idea. But anyway, yeah, we're going to bring on our guests now. And we're going to ask them what they think as well. So this week, we've got my brother and my sister-in-law, Kombe and Camila Shibemba. They are amazing. They're both like some of the most driven people I know. And they also love Jesus and they love worship. And they're very passionate about all that kind of stuff. So without further ado, Kombe and Camila.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey. Also, everybody, it's going to be their anniversary tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice.
Anniversary tomorrow, second anniversary, I think.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? Second anniversary. So everyone give them anniversary props in the comments. You know, some people have barely made it through the first lockdown and they're on 2 years already. So,
we've still got to survive the rest of it, though.
I know, that's true. That's true. So guys, let us know. Maybe Camila, if you go first, and then Kombe. If you could swap places with somebody for a day, who would that be?
I can't really think of like anyone. Could I go with like Bible people?
No, the whole point is you're supposed to think.
No, you can. Ezekiel went for Paul.
I'll go first because that's a boring answer. Right, I want to be Cristiano Ronaldo, but not today because he's got coronavirus. So maybe next week.
Next week.
Yeah, when all the symptoms have gone. And,
fair enough.
That's a cool answer.
I'm thinking.
You can pick a Bible person if you want.
No.
Kombe doesn't allow me to. I think I would be. Who would I be? I would be someone like Christina Aguilera or like Beyonce, just for a day, see what they're doing. Do you know what I mean? I imagine they're in the studios or something. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah, but
hey, that's an acceptable answer.
Yeah, fair play. Can't even argue with that.
We've got another interesting answer here from Toriro. who would want to be the queen to kind of figure out what happens.
What?
Taria wants to be the queen to see.
Fair enough.
You know, what does she do? How often does she walk her corgis? I feel like that's So, guys, give us a bit of an overview, just like a brief summary of your lives. Tell us both a bit about your family backgrounds and then like what you guys are up to now, and then we'll dive in.
Cool. So I'm Portuguese. Grew up in Portugal. Came here when I was 18. Been here for 5 years now. That's where I met Kombe. Yeah, right now I'm in university and I work for the church in Oldham. So I'm doing a music degree in performance and recording. Yeah, that's me. That's it.
My name is Kombe, and I feel like I'm on one of those group interview things that's like everybody in the group say where you from. I was born in Swaziland. My parents are Zambian. I moved over to England when I was 6 years old, and we've been here ever since. Pretty much.
What are you doing now?
Well, I work in finance. I'm doing a lot of things though, so it's kind of hard to explain.
Yeah, just tell them all.
Right, let me pause you there because Eamon dropped off, so I'm gonna pop everyone back in order. Here we go, hey, just like that, seamless transition.
Right.
So, Kombe, tell us what are the various things that you're up to at the moment?
So I help lead the worship team in Oldham. I think we've got about how many people? 7 or 8? 7 or 8 people in the team. I also work in finance for a law firm, so I help them over there. I've just got a new job, so I'm on the road to ACCA Chartered Accountant.
Hey!
Choo choo!
That's on the road to money.
Yeah.
You're gonna start seeing my Christmas present asks get a lot more extravagant once that comes through. Just letting you know.
You haven't even told me what you want yet, so you're on no presents at the moment. So yeah, and then do some music stuff. So
yeah, that's very humble. Kombe is a very good songwriter, so go check out. He has like a side, not a side thing really, is it? It's not really a side thing. Called Makai. So go check that out on Spotify. Plug in that early on. Do you know what I mean? You can even plug that later.
Yeah, that was a funny thing actually, because my other friend tried to recommend me for another job, and he was like, "Oh, you should take off all the music stuff, blah blah." So I took it off, but I must have left like a tiny little sentence or something. So when I went in for the second interview, the finance director was like, "Oh, right, so do you do music as well?" And I was like, yeah. And I told him about it. And he started like searching for me on Spotify in the interview. And I'm like,
That's
so yeah,
sick.
got me the job because of that.
Hey, there we go, man. It's a good thing that the music's good. Otherwise, that could have been awkward.
Yeah.
He puts it on. He's like, oh. So we've got some people in the audience who want to know, which is a perfect segue because that's what I was going to go into. Where did you guys meet? How did you meet? Tell us your story because you're our first married couple that we've had on. Our first couple in general. First couple ever. Big news, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So give us your origin story.
Story.
Kombe, you go first, and then Camila, you can give us. You can give us your point of view.
Oh, I go first.
Yeah, Kombe.
Well, I went to the academy in Cardiff. Yeah, you're late. Not good. Not good. Yeah, I went to the academy in Cardiff. That's how we met. We were in the same class, pretty much. That was it, wasn't it? We weren't allowed to date, though. I think no one was allowed to date at the time. Those were the rules. A few people broke those rules, but we won't mention names. And then
we'll go into that.
I think
wow, baiting people out.
You saw me sometime at Bible Week or something, but I don't remember that.
Yeah, we saw each other previously, but it wasn't like memorable. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like it was after a few months of knowing each other. I was like, I'm pretty sure I've seen you before. And then I thought about it, and it was Bible Week probably. But yeah, we met at Bible College. We were really good friends. That's how we became
Academy of Music and Worship.
Yes. Yeah. Was called.
Yeah.
All right, so you're really good friends, and then what happened?
Well, then we graduated. Then Kombe asked me out. We went out, and then that's it, really. And then we started dating after like a month. And then
No, it's not. Your dad was like, "Oh, do you want to come watch football?" So I went to watch Portugal play football.
Oh yeah, and then he asked my dad if he could take me on a date. And basically my whole family was around. So it was really awkward because they all turned to me and it was like, you should decide. And I was like, yeah, sure, let's go on a date. So yeah, we went on a date and then we sat dating and that's it.
Classy move, that.
Is it?
Yeah, that's a classy move to ask the dad for permission, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I didn't do it because I wanted to. She's the one who said, "Oh yeah, like you should speak to my dad." Blah, blah, blah.
I was talking about like when you start dating someone.
Fair play, Kombe.
Go, but then
respect.
He did it, and I was like, "Well done." He proved to me it was very courageous. So
the people are giving you your respect anyway. So
yeah.
So then obviously you were dating, then you were in Oldham, got married. One of the coolest weddings I've ever been to. Mm-hmm. Tell the people a bit about your wedding, because it wasn't like, a standard wedding, I think. It wasn't.
I'll give you a bit of backstory. So I was working for this company called Kia Group, right, in Manchester. And they're like a massive construction firm. And at the time, is it Carillion or Carillion?
Yeah.
I don't know which way you pronounce it.
Carillion, I think, yeah.
But yeah, they basically gone bust. And at the time, the construction sector was really up and down. So I was like, I don't really want to be there long term. But I proposed on New Year's Eve. So bear in mind, I'm still working there, like before Christmas. So I ended up leaving there before Christmas. I've already saved up money for the ring and stuff, so I've got the ring. So I've got a bit more saved up, so I don't really need to stay there. So I ended up leaving that job, and I think it took me 3 months to find the job that I actually wanted after that. So we'd pretty much got engaged, and then I think everyone was like, "Oh, what's he gonna do for money?" Blah 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 blah. Because we had the date for October, but I think some people were like, "Oh, maybe we should wait the year after." So yeah, I came up with this Excel spreadsheet, and I'd allocated everyone the money. I was like, "Listen, to save that money." I was like, "To save that money, you save that money, I'll save this money, and then in 10 months." In less than 10, in 7 months, I'd saved up all the money.
Yeah.
So I only had a job for 7 months. So if you put your mind to whatever you want, you can do it. And we got married in Portugal. We had all the food paid. Well, all the stuff was done by the place, wasn't it?
Yeah, the venue did everything. And it was very nice because obviously we're from different cultures. So I'm Portuguese, he's from Zambia, but then he's got a lot of English culture as well, and I have lived here. So it was a mix of literally all the cultures, and it was just really beautiful to see all the different traditions. We just did a few traditions on different things, and obviously it was in Portugal, so it was a whole new environment. Lots of our friends were able to come, so we were really grateful for that. Yeah, it was really nice.
Nice. And just one thing I learned Portuguese people, especially at a wedding, love to party. Like I was getting out partied by people at least 40 years my seniors. I was like, I was like, I don't know how you've got all this energy. And most of them were like, "Hey, let's keep it going." And you just go,
like, but I don't know though, because a lot of them were saying that that was the first wedding where they really properly party.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, good.
It was just like a good mixture of people at the wedding. So.
I think so. Because even like my dad is not a person of dancing. He's like, well, he'll dance with my mum one dance and then he'll just sit down and talk to people. But my dad was just crazy that night. It was just like going for it, dancing about. So I think people just got really into, you know, the celebration of all of it. Because I'm the last child to get married. All my other cousins are, well, they're younger than me, so it might be a few years. So,
yeah. Next one. So, like, you both mentioned that you met at Bible College, Academy of Music and Worship.
Yeah.
So, tell us a bit about how did you guys both come into a relationship with Jesus? Like, what did that look like at the beginning?
Yeah, so I grew up in a Christian home, and it wasn't until I was 13 years old that I really understood that there was a God and really wanted a relationship with him, because there are situations that happen in my life that I just had no other person to turn to. There's a lot of disappointment in people. So God was the only person I could look at and look to. So that's when I decided at 13. And from 13 until I was about 18, it was honestly a roller coaster of adventures with God, from being baptized in the Holy Spirit, experience all of that, seeing visions and listening to God speak to me. So it was a kind of like a 360 change in the way I view life. And well, my sister had come to Cardiff to do the Academy of Music and Worship. We both have been involved in worship since we were very young, because my mum used to lead the worship team for a few years back in Portugal. And so I saw a really big difference in my sister in the way she, I don't know, like the relationship with God that she had and her whole revelation about worship. So I looked to her and I said, I want that. So that's how I came to the UK, was in search for, I guess, more answers and learning more about worship and God, deepening my relationship with him. That's me.
Yeah, I became a Christian when I was like 5 or 6, I think. And then I got baptized when I was in Manchester. So maybe, I don't know what age I was, to be honest.
So somewhere like 7 or 8, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
It was early.
Not 12.
Not 12.
And then I got baptized in the Holy Spirit when we went to like a youth weekend away, I think. That was when we were in Cardiff. And then after that, like my teenage years, I spent time in the Manchester like King's Church youth band, pretty much. And the
headed up by Rian Bagley.
Yeah,
that was legendary.
The youth at the time was like around 50 to maybe plus, I think, was it?
Yeah, it was pretty big at that point.
Yeah, like 50 youth in Manchester. What else happened around that time? Yeah, so that time was cool because we were like playing Hillsong United songs.
We did the Christmas, what was the Christmas concert at, was it Queen Elizabeth? Not Queen Elizabeth, that's Oldham.
Palace Theatre.
The Palace Theatre, and the youth band opened up and did like 3 songs, and it was probably the most stressful thing.
Was it?
I was bricking it. I was like, because I thought maybe they'll like last year's went pretty well. Obviously, this is a theatre, I was like, they're not going to pack out the theater, probably. Like, it'll be like maybe 200 people. That's doable. And then, like, got on stage and it was just, like, rammed and people are hyped already. I was just like, because I think we were literally like,
there, wasn't he?
Huh?
The mayor of Manchester was there or something.
I think so. Oh, there we go. Apparently there were 1,000 people, so, you know.
Didn't notice, to be honest.
That's not bad for teenagers performing.
Wow, nice
worship songs.
Yeah.
So what led both of you then to make the decision to go to the academy?
Well, for me, it was just seeing the difference on my sister. Like I said, in terms of just the way she was in worshiping God, because obviously she would come back home, lead worship in Portugal. So it was just, I could see a big difference in her. So I just looked at her and said, I want to be like that. So that's what made me move. And obviously I always had dreams of moving country, traveling the world. So I just saw an opportunity. I was 18, so I was like, yeah, let's do it.
Now's the time.
Nice.
What about you,
I don't know. For me, I was more like, I didn't really want to go because I was like a bit older than the group who would have gone anyway, I think. And I was like in a job. I'd left uni, didn't mean finish that. So I was like ready to work and stuff like that. I mean, get some money up. And then I don't think I'm allowed to tell the story, but anyway, someone was like, "Yes, you should really go," and they sent me a letter, and I was like, "If they sent me a letter, then it must be serious,
must be legit."
Yeah. So I ended up going to the academy for a year, and the main reason I didn't want to go was because, like, I felt like some people who went to Covenant College were just like doing other things after, not really like helping the churches and stuff. And I was like, if I want to go, I don't want to be be someone who doesn't help out. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was the main reason. Like, I didn't want to go, but I ended up going and spent a lot of grew a lot as well in God as well. It was good for me because, like, basically the day would start at like 10 or 10:30 a.m., wasn't it?
9:30.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't. It was a bit like, because we basically lived right next to the college, so it wasn't like hard to get to. It was like 5-minute walk. So because I always wake up at like 7 or 6 a.m., so I would have like 3 hours to just like go for a run, come back, and then I'll just practice, just worship God and pray for like an hour or something like every day. So it was good for me, I think, to spend that time.
Nice.
I didn't have work to do, so.
And also, this audience keeps growing because now apparently it was 1,700, not 1,000. We'll see whether we reach the like 2,000 mark. Yeah. So how have you guys both found then because obviously worship is a big part of the way you guys have lived life. How have you found doing that? Like being married, both working jobs. Obviously, Camila, you started uni last year, so you're in your second year now. And before then, your time was a bit. Oh, you're in third year. Jeez Louise. Squeaky bum time, isn't it? So obviously, like the time that you guys have available to you now to be in the academy is like completely different. So how have you found like still developing a life of worship, which doesn't have to necessarily be about songs, but can be in like a tough time scenario?
Yeah, I think for me, it's different stages in life. So from being in the academy, obviously I had all the time in the world, really. That we had a few assignments, but it wasn't like, having a job or something. So you have all day really to do it. So you spend a lot of time doing it because you always focus on that. When I started working and we were dating. So we weren't married. That's still a different dynamic to what is being married, I think. Because obviously, when you're married, you're always around each other. But it's always important, I think, to have our own individual time with God, and whatever that looks like, if that's in the morning, if that's in the evening. Because for me, it's never the same. Whether it's in the morning and sometimes in the evening, sometimes in the afternoon. It just depends when I've got time really. And I found now that I'm driving to uni, I found that my times driving are probably a lot more. I don't know. I feel like I've got a bit more time because I'm driving, so there's nowhere I can go. So I spend time worshiping there because there's no one in the car, so I can just sing wherever.
Nice.
What about you, Kombe? Especially for you, because in your line of work, you also have periods where you work like crazy overtime, like quarters ends and things like that. How do you find juggling all that?
I don't really have any time, but I just like worship during my lunches. Or like now that I'm working from home, I'll basically just put on some worship music in the morning, and then like for 3 hours I'll just be listening to loads of stuff. So that's how it goes for me. So yeah, like you're saying, like I just feel like you've got to make time for stuff really. Yeah. Like when we recorded the EP that we did, was it last year or 2 years ago now?
Last year.
That I was doing overtime during that time as well. Like, so basically, for the people that don't know, every quarter in this current role that I am in, I have to do overtime every single day for 2 weeks. So for 2 weeks I'm doing overtime every single day. So it's very tiring. And during that time, we basically recorded the EP in like 2 weeks, didn't we?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, because it was
I don't remember the full.
Then we wouldn't have had enough time. So
no, yeah.
Stuff like that. So I think it's just getting it done, worship God, make sure it's done. Because for me as well, I've got like Sundays to. It's like every Sunday, I've got to be ready to. Do you know what I mean? Bring something or support the team.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that takes us on very nicely to the EP period, All Nations Worship. So tell us a bit, because All Nations Worship is like you're both heavily involved in that. So tell us a bit about like how that came about, why it came about, and what was that process of like trying to craft the songs of the EP and what songs to use, what songs not to use, and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like one of my targets when I started leading the worship team was to release an EP in I think it was like 2 years or something. So we started having a few songs to work with. There was like Bless the Lord, a few other songs which haven't come out. And yeah, it was a good process, I think, and a good learning curve for everyone because obviously it's our first time actually working together. Mm-hmm. What I wanted to do as well is like share out the song. So obviously I knew I could have written every single song and then been like, oh yeah, it's my album and I'm the leader. But I was like, no, I want everyone else to bring something else to the table. So then it's the reflection of our church, not just like one person's idea.
Yeah.
So I think your song was on there, wasn't it? And then also had a song as well. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think it was a good time.
Yeah, and I think that the whole process, our vision was to, like Kombe said, bring the song, our sound, the church sound. So whatever God was speaking to us at that time, then that's what came out. So obviously, Bless the Lord was a song that Ezekiel had wrote many years ago, but it has been our anthem. Really, is always the song that we sing is Bless the Lord all the time. So so that we knew that was going to be part of the album, the EP, I mean. And then I think the other songs we wrote, because I think the whole process was about 6 months or less. So we wrote them in about a month. I think it was. It was very quick.
It was a very short window of time. Yes.
I remember because Wani, you said to us that we had studio somewhere in April or May. So you just said we've got to have the songs by this date, and it was something like a month.
Yeah.
And we said 5 songs, ended up with 6 songs. So, but it was the whole process was God speaking to the church right now, and how can we turn that into a song for people to sing?
Yeah.
And also, like, my sort of vision for it was to have songs that don't sound like the stereotypical CCM type of Hillsong, like, do you know what I mean, that sort of thing. And I think with the sound that we sort of went to, I know it won't be everyone's cup of tea, but that's kind of the point, that it's meant to, like, be something that other people would listen to, like non-Christians can be like, oh, like, this is actually a pretty cool sound type thing.
Yeah.
And that was, for me, that was one of the coolest parts of the studio process. So the producers we worked with, T and Mike, did an amazing job. And because I worked for the church, so I was able to basically be at every session, unless something else was going on that I had to be at. And even during the post-production, I was able to be there all the time. And one of the coolest things for me was, like, since the very beginning, is seeing both of them, like, just loving the songs as actual songs. And I think Mike hadn't had much church experience at all, and like, he would just, like, love the songs. He'd be there and he'd just like, this is so good. He'd be singing them when we got in, and that for me was like, that was, like you're saying, part of our mission was we wanted it to be something that a non-Christian can hear and say, oh, this is a cool song, this is catchy. And through that process, like, they end up meeting God and they didn't even realize that was happening.
Definitely.
So how have you guys found the process of obviously with coronavirus and lockdown and things that completely changed the way that we were living as a church and the way we were functioning? How did you guys find leading worship in that time? And we're not really out of it. It's slightly different now because we're in the building. So how did you find the lockdown leading? How are you finding the broadcast leading? Because both of them are slightly different.
Yeah. I think for me, it was an adaptation. Both, because obviously in the beginning we were at home, we were here, and we would just be us two. So obviously sorting out all the tech stuff was sometimes a nightmare. So it's always an adaptation to, understand what to do and the best way to do it. But I think I've really enjoyed just the fact that obviously we can't see anyone, so anyone could just be watching and doing whatever. So for me, it was just us two worshipping at home. So it just felt like we just do worshipping together. So, and obviously people were watching, but it wasn't as much like, oh, someone is watching me. It was more like we're just worshipping at home. So I quite enjoyed that. And obviously now we've transitioned to the building. So again, an adaptation, because obviously there's a camera right in front of you, and there's also people around. We don't, at the moment, we're not playing with the band, so we've got the backing tracks, singing with the backing tracks as well, leading with that. But yeah, it's just different, but at the same time, it's worship. Worship is just, you're with God, and that's your response to God. And so it doesn't really, in my view, it doesn't really matter how it happens. It's all, as long as it's from your heart, it doesn't really matter. So that's mine.
Yeah. I think for me, like, the idea of live streaming wasn't really like a revolutionary idea for me, because I'd already seen Facebook live streams and stuff. And I remember when, like, Liam was sick and he was in the hospital, he couldn't make like the Christmas concert that we usually do. So already I was like, oh, could we do like a live stream? So I was already thinking of that idea from then. So when we had to do the live stream, I was like, okay, let's go for it. And obviously it had its challenges because everyone only sees the live stream. They don't see like what happens before when you're like going through and like something goes wrong right before the live stream.
Yeah.
Always.
So that's probably a good thing that no one sees that stuff.
Yeah. Literally today, I had something go wrong 5 minutes before. That's like so.
So yeah, I think there's been challenges with sort of worshipping at home, like whether it's on the acoustics, and then we tried the backing tracks, and then that's also got its own sort of challenge in terms of you're not really like, because it's a backing track, it's been like formed like this. So you can't really go around the backing track, you've got to go to the backing track the way it is. So that's got its challenges, but I think it seems like people have enjoyed the worship both ways, I guess. So
we've got people saying thank you for bringing worship into their homes. So we've obviously done a good job.
Well, we can still improve a lot more, but
yeah. So obviously 2020 has been a bit of a rough year, but looking ahead, like what are you guys excited for? So can be in your personal life with God. Like what do you guys think? I'm looking forward to this. Like I can see this happening in the not too distant future, and like I'm looking forward to this.
I think it's like to see how we all evolve in worship. I think like it feels like worship is sort of there, like in our general churches, but it's like I think we need more of a culture of worship and like everyone to bring whatever they have to bring, because it is like a discipline thing, isn't it? It's like everyone has to have like whenever I look at Upper Room streams, like they literally do their streams like almost every single day of the week.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's people there like in the building. So I think from that aspect, that's something to be excited about. Anything else?
Well, I think in my personal life, I think I'm excited about finishing uni. I'm done. 3 years is enough.
Gonna join the real world again.
Back into the real life. So I'm excited about that, and obviously I've learned a lot, but I'm excited to be in the professional world, and and I think like Kombe, I'm just excited to see the next seasons of life, really. And in my view, in terms of worship, I'm excited to see what God is going to do, because I do believe that He's bringing back a heart of worship. You know that song, I'm coming back to the heart of worship. I think that's what it says.
Great song. I think that's Matt Redman.
So I think, I'm excited to see a generation and a season when people are passionate about worshiping God, and it's genuine and very simple, not complicated, but simple, genuine, heartfelt worship. So I do think we're heading towards the right direction. And I'm just excited to see that.
Nice, amazing. And that pretty much brings us right up to time. So perfect time there. Great job, guys. Thank you so much for joining us and dropping wisdom, being our first couple married as well. So that's 2 birds, 1 stone. And
keep doing the podcast as well, because you never know who's listening. Like you might be your next employer. So
it's exactly. Yeah, it's weird. You literally never know with a live stream. we've had a few where it's like, how has that person even seen that this is the thing that's happening?
Yeah, because people always like drop in to have a look and then like drop out.
Yeah.
That's probably right.
Well, that's lovely. Someone said that you're one of their favorite couples.
Ah,
You're getting all the points today. We should have had you on sooner. Our engagement's going through the roof, mate.
We only told you like a bit of a story as well, so we've got loads of stories.
I know, yeah.
Part 2.
There's that part 2, guys. Make sure that you keep on the lookout for. We'll get that in the diary. I mean. Right. So everyone, thank you for watching. And if you know Kombe and Camila and you enjoyed what they shared, let them know. Encourage them. Let them know that they're doing a great job with everything. And we'll be back again next week. I can't remember if we've confirmed the guest yet. So you guys keep an eye out for our special guest next week.
Surprise!
And hope you guys all stay. It could be Kanye. Who knows? Could be Kanye. Start a YouTube channel. You guys should do that.
YouTube.
Yeah, you guys start a YouTube channel.
Wow.
People want the content.
Camila's makeup or something.
No.
Look, it could be anything.
I'll have to give her a haircut. How about that one?
No.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch it.
I'd watch that.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you again next week. Bye.
Thank you.
See you
Bye.
next week. Bye.